Something called a cry-in. One Iowa lawmaker has a message for you. Suck it up, Buttercup. And that's also the name of his new bill that he's sponsoring in the Iowa State House that would cut funding to schools spending money on safe spaces. Here to explain more is the chairman of the Iowa House Oversight Committee, Bobby Kaufman. Bobby, thanks for joining us this morning. So tell us about the Suck It Up, Buttercup bill. Where'd the idea come from and what does it do?
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me. You know, the bill was inspired by what I saw across the nation, where I saw schools with rising, skyrocketing tuition costs were also finding new monies and expenditures for things such as cry rooms. I was hearing reports of rooms where you could play with Play-Doh and you could color on books and talk about your feelings. And I was even hearing reports of some schools that were bringing in ponies to be able to get students through the election. Well, for me, that's a waste of taxpayer dollar, and that also doesn't prepare kids for life, because in life, there's winners and losers. And in life, when your car breaks down, your kids get sick, or you have to take a second job up to pay your mortgage, you don't get to go to a cry zone. You don't get to pet a pony. You have to deal with it, which is why I came up with the bill, and the idea inspired Suck It Up, Buttercup.
Well, I can't help, but I don't mean to laugh. I mean, you laugh because you want to cry, as they are doing in these cry rooms. There's another aspect of this bill, though, that you talked about protesting. We've seen a lot of protesting that descends into rioting. What's the other aspect of it?
True, and that was truly the inspiration, was protecting my constituents. What really inspired me to push this forward was there was an actual blockade of my constituents on Interstate 80 last week. And that's dangerous. That's incredibly dangerous. What if someone had been trying to go to the hospital? What if someone was in an emergency? And you had these kids, you had people acting like spoiled brats, let's just call it what it is, blocking Interstate 80. And I have no problem with dissent. I have no problem with protesting. I encourage protesting. I encourage dissent. But you don't have a constitutional right to impede on the constitutional rights of others. And when you're blocking the interstate, when you're falsely imprisoning my constituents and putting their lives in danger, I have a big problem with that. So I'm proposing to increase the penalties and giving law enforcement more tools to prevent that from happening in the future.
Well, this is something happening in Iowa. Those same kind of protests happen in my home state of Minnesota. And you wonder why more isn't being done from the federal government and others to make sure that lawlessness doesn't rule the day. We heard about another campus today. Rutgers University wants to declare itself a sanctuary campus. We've heard other campuses mentioning this. What would you do in Iowa or elsewhere if universities want to declare themselves sanctuary campuses?
Well, I mean, it would depend on what sanctuary campus means. If it means peaceful protesting and it means doing it on your own time, I don't have a problem with that. But missing class and causing mass exams to be able to be pushed back.
It means the illegal immigration piece. It's sort of like a sanctuary city. They want to have a sanctuary campus as well.
Well, of course, that's absurd, and police and ICE and law enforcement and immigration officials would have to step in. I mean, we cannot have lawlessness. This is the ultimate irony, that you had all these predictions of a Donald Trump presidency being anarchy and a Donald Trump presidency, you know, being all this lawlessness. And here you have it. The very folks that claimed that that was going to be the case for him are actually being the ones that are the inspiration for the case. So, no, you cannot have sanctuary campuses harboring illegal immigrants. That's just absurd.
Well, Bobby, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Good luck with the bill. I think you may have triggered some kids across the country who are watching this. They may need to retreat to a safe zone and go cry. But you would say suck it up, Buttercup, and good luck with your bill. I appreciate it.